All right. Hi.
We might be good.
We're going to make a movie. Hello, I hope we can see this. This is the last prompting tutorial on the progressive time delay. So I have my good friend, Miss Eva,
love you.
who is going to help me. We are going to, our target skill will be identifying capital and lowercase letters, which is something that Eve is working on anyway. So, hopefully you have your PowerPoint slides up in front of you. And so, to set this up, it's the same thing. Target behavior, discriminative stimulus, and criteria for mastery are determined. And then the next thing we have to do is determine the controlling prompt. The controlling prompt is the prompt that is the least intrusive prompt that you can give, but that consistently gets the job done. And the way that you assess for that prompt is by using least to most prompting systems to find that. We're going to go into detail about how that occurs, but in a nutshell, what you're doing is taking about 1, 2, or 3 days, depending on the situation, for assessment, where you are actually doing the task at hand, but instead of using the progressive time delay to start with, yes?
I love you.
I love you too. You are going to use least to most prompts. So what you would do is, given this skill, you're going to pull out the prompts again that are appropriate for the student in the skill, order them from least to most, do this skill over several days, using least to most prompts and marking on your data what prompt is getting the child to respond. Once you have all of the data that you have collected,
Mama.
I know you are. Remember I said I had to talk a little bit.
Okay.
Then you're going to add up how many times each prompt was recorded, so that you can see which prompt got the highest number and is the least intrusive.
That's good.
Okay? Once you find that, so say like I used a direct verbal, and a gestural, and some kind of physical and whatnot. And after I did all that for 2 or 3 days, I added it up and I found that direct verbal got the job done 14 times, and a gestural got the job done 16 times, and a physical got the job done 7 times. Well, I'm looking at that, figuring out, it's between the direct verbal and the gestural. The direct verbal is the less intrusive one. I'm going to go with that one as my controlling prompt. We're going to do more of this on Tuesday, so if this is unclear to you, hopefully it will be clear when we do it together. So, for the purpose of this, again, the target behavior is identifying capital and lowercase letters. The discriminative stimulus is that I show her a card that has a letter on it, like that, and ask her, what is this? What letter is this? What am I showing you? And having her respond. I'm going to pretend like I've done an assessment using least to most prompts, and my controlling prompt is, I actually give her the answer. It's a model prompt where I would show her this and say, what is this? L. And I'm going to prompt her immediately. Okay? Remember, the progressive time delay starts as a stimulus prompting system, and then it moves to a non-stimulus prompting system. So what you're going to see me do for a little bit is I'm going to show her the card, and I'm going to prompt her immediately. That's called a 0-second delay. I do that over and over and over again. And we'll talk about data collection in the 0-second delay, because it gets a little bit crazy, because if my controlling prompt is doing its job, she's never going to mess up. So we'll talk about how data collection looks there. But she meets criteria, and then we move back to a little bit of wait time. Usually I like to do 2 seconds. So I will show her the card, wait 2 seconds. If she gets it within the 2 seconds, she gets a plus for her data. If she doesn't, then I prompt her, giving her the controlling prompt. And then we move on, and I mark that as that it was a prompted answer. Once we meet criteria at the 2-second delay, then I'm going to back the delay off a little longer. So I might be waiting 4 seconds or 5 seconds. I usually, for a typical kid, I will do 0 seconds to 5, then maybe 7 or 8 seconds if I need to, but usually after I've increased to 5 seconds, then they're pretty much doing it on their own.
I
So
love my mom.
she loves her mama. So now we're going to do it. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm going to show you, remember I told you I'm going to show you the letter and I'll give you the answer to start?
Okay.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
What is this? S.
S.
Good job. What letter is this? V.
V.
Good girl. What letter is this? W. Now in my data, do you see how she's anticipating? That's how you take data at a 0 second. If I see that she's saying it with me, that gets a plus. If she says it after I prompt, she gets a minus. What letter is this? H.
H.
Good. So that would get a minus or a P because it's prompted.
C.
C. Okay. What's this?
J.
J. Good. So we do that over and over and over again. And I would rack up my data until she met criteria, whatever criteria I set. Once she did, then I would extend my delay to 2 seconds. So now you're going to see me show her the card and wait 2 seconds before I give her a prompt. What letter is this? Q.
Q.
There you go. So that is a prompt. What is this?
F.
Okay, that's a plus. What letter is this?
B.
B. Good. What is this?
L.
L. So good. What am I holding?
J.
Yay.
C.
C. I can't even get them up. Which is this one? H.
H.
Good. That's a prompted one. What's this?
W.
Good girl. Which one is this?
V.
V. What's that? S. S. So you see how that works. You're holding it up. If she responds, she gets a plus. If she doesn't, you are counting to 2 in your head, and then you're delivering the prompt. I gotta find her some harder letters here. No looking, no peeking. Silly goose. Let's do some of these. These are confusing. Now I'm going to extend. She meets criteria. We're going to extend to a 5-second prompt. It works the same way. I show her the card. I ask her, what is this? Now I'm waiting for 5 seconds before I'm prompting. What letters are hard for you?
V.
Oh, here's the hard one. Okay, let's try these. So let's see if she'll give me a chance. All right, you ready? What's this? Y.
Y.
Good. What am I holding?
P.
No. What am I holding? D.
D.
Good. There was an error correction. We'll get into that later.
I'm getting P for D.
Which one is this?
B.
Good girl. What's that?
Z.
Z. Oh my goodness, I have to think of something that you don't know. What is that?
E. Hey, E starts with Eva.
E starts with Eva. That's right. Which one is that? G.
G.
Good girl. So you see how that works. Once she meets criteria with that, then you can extend if you feel the need to 7 or 8 seconds and then independently. But usually if a child can go 0 to 5, we're pretty good. For kids who have more significant disabilities, you might need to back up a little further. You hold that while I color? Okay. We are about done. Do you want to say anything to your fans out there?
I want my mama.
Can you do the Rapunzel thing when you make a promise?
I promise. And when I promise something, I never, ever break that promise.
She never, ever breaks that promise. So you better watch out, right? Okay, high five. Awesome, girl.
Now let's do this one.
Okay, let me turn this off.